Hello everybody. Welcome to part 2 of my Playbill collection. And look, I'm trying to not have the top of my head cut off. Look what I found. My ticket stubs from the shows that I went to see. So we're up to May 25th, 1999. I went to see The Scarlet Pimpernel. Now this was version number 2. Those of you who are familiar with The Scarlet Pimpernel, they kept redoing the show even though it was open, and they had like 3 different versions. Now this one had still Douglas Sills, of course, and then Rex Smith was in it instead of Terrence Mann, and Rachel York was in it instead of Christine Andreas, and they reshuffled songs and changed things around, and the brother and sister song became the love song of the Scarlet Pimpernel and that girl, Marguerite. So that was weird. And then I saw Annie Get Your Gun at the Marquis Theatre with Miss Bernadette Peters and Tom Wopat from the Dukes of Hazzard. And I must say, seeing Bernadette Peters in person was thrilling. There's the whole cast. Here's my ticket stub. I saw it on May 26th. Yes, at 2 p.m. And so seeing Bernadette Peters, you know, I'd grown up seeing her on Carol Burnett and all those shows, and it was I was in the orchestra really close, and it was just thrilling seeing her. Here is Closer, the play at the Music Box Theater. And then my sister Jeanette and my niece Stacy and my sister's friend Beverly joined me in New York. And Stacy and I went to see You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. They had a Thursday show, which was convenient, at 2 p.m., and I took Stacy to see that. And there were all these kids there, probably from school, on like a field trip, and they kept turning around and looking at me. And I was telling Stacy, they're looking at me. And she said, no, they're not. And they were laughing. And then, as the house lights went down, I felt my nose, and there was a giant booger there. And they were all looking at my booger. They didn't recognize me from this show because this show didn't exist then. I was devastated. And then Jeanette and Beverly and Stacy and I went to see the play Night Must Fall at the Helen Hayes Theater, and Matthew Broderick signed my playbill. There you go. Oh, I'm sorry, I hit the camera. And then we all went to see Rent at the Nederlander. You can see there's always a Rent pilgrimage whenever I would go to New York in those days. Here's the cast in that one. And so many of these fell out of the, were in the program. Manly Pope was playing Roger, and Jay Rodriguez of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy was in it as Angel, so that was exciting. Then my niece Stacy and I went to see Footloose, the musical, based on the movie. It was at the Richard Rodgers Theater. At the time we thought Footloose was sort of weird, but I must say I think it's a fine show, and I don't like the poster though. I think it's one of the ugliest art designs ever. Did they just give their child a crayon and say, here, you design mommy or daddy's poster. We won't tell anybody at work. Then Stacy and I went to see Sideman, the play. Now this is one that I regret. It was at the John Golden Theater. And, it's It was about a musician or something. It had that dude in it from Party of Five, Scott Wolf. It had Edie Falco. I mean, it was good, but just wasn't my thing, you know? But we did go see the Civil War, and Stacy and I cried so much during it at the St. James Theater. And we only had one tissue, and we had to share that tissue. And here's the ticket stub. And then we went to see at the Stardust Theater. They had downstairs. They had Forbidden Broadway cleans up its act, and that was a lot of fun. I like to see a lot of shows. Then now this is stuck in there. This isn't from that trip, but I saw Cabaret at the Wilshire Theater in Los Angeles with Teri Garr. And just for fun, my sister gave me the playbill for The Lion in Winter, which she saw in New York. I did not see. And she also saw Miss Saigon at the Broadway Theater. I didn't get to ever see it on Broadway. And my sister always says, it's so dated. I'm like, it's a period piece. It's always going to be dated. Next, I didn't go to New York again until 2001 in April. And I saw The Tale of the Allergist's Wife, which is one of my favorite plays. I still love it to this day, by Charles Busch. And it starred Linda Lavin, Tony Roberts, and Michelle Lee. And, it was just such a good show. So funny. Then, and I was there with Abigail on this visit, my friend Abigail. And then we saw the Rocky Horror Show at Circle in the Square Theater. And, yes, it had Dick Cavett, Leah Delaria, Jared Emick, Joan Jett, Alice Ripley, Daphne Rubin Vega, and Tom Hewitt. How's that for a cast, y'all? So that was very exciting. And, and I went to see Follies at the Belasco Theater. That had Blythe Danner in it. And then Abigail and I went to see Cabaret at Studio 54. Look, they have stage bills, not playbills. And this one starred Gina Gershon as Sally Bowles. And then I saw a class act, The Musical, at the Ambassador Theater. This is the musical that was by Ed Kleban, who did the lyrics for A Chorus Line. And I just love a class act. And we also saw Lily Tomlin in The Search for Signs of Intelligent Life in the Universe. And I must say that was enjoyable, seeing Lily Tomlin in person. That was at the Booth Theater. Okay, I'll tell you more in a little bit. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.